did have a big impact actually. I mean, he had 3 kills. He
Yeah.
didn't need to necessarily get those kills in the beginning to be useful, but I mean, he was 3-0 at like, I don't know, 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And I think he did have quite the impact early on.
Okay.
It's just
Career
that,
ones too.
yeah, and it's just that I think that they didn't transition their early game into the things that they needed to do.
I think your point was really good though. Like the idea of how they want to fight is, you know, they push the waves in with the Darkseer, they push everything in, and then, you know, they can smoke up and get, if they can get a jump off with the Warlock, with like the ASUS spray, with everything kind of just coming together, it's ideal. But they felt rushed kind of in a way and put themselves in a weird spot.
Yeah, because the thing is, if this game goes late, I think it's really difficult for VP to fight then all of a sudden, because fighting against Darkseer late game, and then you have like Alchemist and Jari in the late game, and then there's like 3 good eggs in that game that the Alch can give away, so they can scale really well into late game, and with like a lot of armor, if they get Shivas, AC, Greaves, etc. These Nakes, like heroes like Nakes and like Slardar, they're pretty inefficient when they can't just burst heroes right away. Then they become kind of inefficient, and then when this jump doesn't kill a hero immediately anymore, then you're not so scared of those heroes anymore. You just drop a rock on them, you turn around, you charge Alch stun, maybe he has an Abyssal because he's going for the fighting build. Maybe the Drow can get off a silence before one of the heroes or whatever, you know, so then they can sort of fight all of a sudden. But yeah, I think just forcing it a bit when the timing was off.
Yep. Well, second game coming up.
Second game indeed.
We're already bans and picks done nice and quickly. We have a bit of a change up now, so they do still take the bounty hunter. Like you said, yesterday they won one of the games yesterday with the bounty and lost one of the games.
Yeah, and they lost one of the games as well.
So I mean, they still just want to keep playing it. I mean, this game doesn't matter so much for Finem, but I think it doesn't really matter for either of these teams, but I think it does define if Liquid makes it through.
It has some impact on Liquid status in the rankings, and I don't know if this last win already has Liquid guaranteed a slot, but Liquid wants VP to win.
Yes, okay. But yeah, maybe they just want to, you know, perfect their bounty strategy since it's one of their big ones. I mean,
I think this suits EF a bit more. How they have their Bedrider already. It's one of the... They like running the Bedrider with the bounty hunter a lot. Yeah, get a lot of move speed and you can catch heroes easier. Last game they sort of lack lockdown, like reliable lockdown. They have Alchemist stun and they have a rock, but it's not that easy to fight around those timings.
Yeah.
It is a little bit more difficult and a little bit like it demands more effort. It requires more effort from your team. And on top of that, I also think that out of these two teams, I think VP is the better Drow team.
Okay.
So I think VP are going to be happier having that Drow in this game than AF were in the last game. And at the same time, I still think that AF are kind of happy with what they have. I feel like this is more kind of comfort zone for AF.
Yeah. I think Finem's probably going to go for the Ursa this game since it's not banned up. It's one of their big favorites, especially when they have the bounty hunter with the Batrider. I mean, bursting someone inside of a lasso is ideal, and you get the extra track movement speed, and it's, you know, good to get on top of Drow Ranger. Not sure if they'll grab it this pick, but probably fourth.
They also like the DP, right?
Yeah, they really like the DP, and they like it a lot with the bounty.
Well,
Thinking what else they
taking their
play.
time.
Yeah, I mean, there's like against Drow, you want to have like Ursa, PA. Those are sort of the good carry heroes. Yeah, Dazzle makes sense against the Legion.
Yeah, it makes
lot.
sense against Legion.
Can't get killed by the duel when you have Grave on you.
Weave overall is great versus Drow, of course. I mean,
yeah.
You have a little bit of a short range on the Grave, so in terms of well, you gotta get in there to actually save the person that's getting jumped on by a Legion commander. That might be a little bit
early
scary.
on, yeah, until you have like a couple more points in it. But Legion usually won't. I mean, probably doesn't get a blink until, you know, you have at least 2 points or something inside your grave.
Okay.
Curious if we're gonna see some.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think like Lil's gonna probably play Legion or X in this game. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He always plays like a greedier type 4-position hero. I think Solo plays kind of similar to how PPD used to play a bit for EG. He's that kind of full-on position 5.
Yeah.
And then he enables his position 4 a lot.
Yeah, so they go
So.
kind of as we expected, you know.
Yeah.
Ursa fourth. It's very good now, especially like it's great versus Axe, great versus Legion, great versus Drow. SD is pretty good versus him, but.
So Finem knows that Virtus Pro is gonna run at them a little bit, right? Because that's kind of like the style they're playing in the series so far.
I think both teams actually enjoy running at each other in this type of matchup. I'm curious.
Oh, now they can win the duel too. So if he
They
does
can?
get duel, he can dunk through
Yeah.
the grave, right? So that's kind of a cool pickup too
Yeah.
with the axe.
But is there any like fifth pickup that for either team that would fit really well in their lineups?
I don't know. Something tells me we might see Puck and DP either be banned or picked.
Yeah, from Ad Finem.
Just feel like either one of those heroes. Like Puck could be pretty good even for Ad Finem. Okay, so they're gonna ban
they're
the
gonna
DP,
ban the
but
DP.
just because you can kind of blink in and silence this Dazzle, you can silence the Ursa, then he has to get diffuse on and stuff like this.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's just pretty annoying for those supports to deal with. Draw War on top of Puck is also really nice, and no one enjoys playing Puck.
Yeah.
Maybe
no one
even,
enjoys
but he
playing
might even
Puck.
play what? He's played a good amount of Storm recently, I want to say, and they don't really have any
Yes.
like. I mean, Lasso, of course, but that's pretty much the only reliable lockdown until later stages.
Play Storm, Shadow Fiend.
Maybe
Is
they'll
this a Shadow
ban it.
Fiend game? Could this be? Does it fit?
I feel like it's a bit greedy.
It's a bit greedy, yeah.
I think the hero kind of is greedy itself, but Ursa Bounty Hunter and stuff, and Ursa, you can get ran at quite hard.
Plays a mean TA as well. Well, let's see. Finem is taking their time for this ban.
I mean, it could still be a core Legion. It's not completely out of the question, but I don't feel like it will be the best option. VP could still look for support in theory.
I want
Yeah, they banned the Storm
Yeah, they banned the
themselves.
Storm and they picked
oh,
the
they
Timber
actually go.
Saw.
Okay, so since they've, I guess, lots of physical damage, they already have Weave. Reactive armor is going to be pretty sweet this game. Not versus the Axe, of course, but versus those two strength.
VP, a silence
Yeah, I
would be
think
really nice for VP in
Puck looks
any
very
form.
good. Yeah.
I want to say that I saw Legion Commander safe lane yesterday, but I don't know if it was for Finem or for Virtus Pro.
Okay.
There wasn't that, or was that? Because I think Cole played a safe lane Legion Commander yesterday.
They played it was a dual Wisp
Oh,
Legion
maybe it was,
Commander that Cole ran with the Z-Freak and Moo.
I think it might have been on the side of Finem as well.
Hmm.
Not entirely sure, but we'll see what Virtus Pro makes of their Legion Commander.
I think the Puck pick sounds super good. It's very good versus Ursa, Timbersaw, Batrider, Dazzle. It's very good versus like all of them. It's not easy to get ganked up early on,
How
obviously
about
from the bounty.
Silencer? They seem like a Silencer team. Well, they used to be a Silencer team, actually.
That
that's
was
why I
with
said it.
Illidan, though.
No,
That's what the, yeah, wrong players.
Yeah, wrong.
Would fit against the Timbersaw. The laning is quite decent, right?
Kind of gets run at though. Like if you get grabbed by the Batrider, then
Yeah.
you're not as happy. But yeah, like I think any form of silence would be really nice for VP here. Whether it's a silence or a Puck or I don't know. I don't know if they're running a core axe or a support or Legion for that matter.
It's a nice and open draft from Virtus Pro.
Are we forgetting about a hero?
I feel like we are.
There's still Mirana, right? But they
There's
probably
still
won't do
Mirana,
that.
there's still Invoker.
Invoker. Okay,
I was
yeah.
actually going to say Invoker that was still in the pool.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't.
were right.
I was,
Yeah.
not in terms of picking up, but in terms of them
they've got
still having
the
it.
Shadow Demon Sunstrike. They have the global with the duel to help him win the duels as well. It's a cool little pickup.
Yeah. So I still think, actually, I believe at Finem.
I believe as well.
I believe.
At
Wow.
Finem.
At Finem. Well,
Switch it up.
What's it
I
gonna be?
believe in no one.
You believe in no one. Okay.
So who do you believe
Who
in
do you
then?
believe in then? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? No, he was gonna go for Virtus Pro. We are gonna find out who is gonna take this second and already last game here today for the ASUS ROG DreamLeague. It is over to OD Pixel and Gods.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague casting desk. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Gods. We're ready to take you through the second game of the only series today. It's VP versus Finem. The drafts have been completed, and so Lil, the man on the purge last game, this time he'll be running around the map on an axe. And Finem, some similarities last game. You've still got MNT on the bounty, but this time it's like Madara, Ursa, and of course eyes are going to be on Thug in that mid lane Timbersaw as well. I mean, what do you think about this? Again, do you feel VP's game, or do you think Finem have got a bit of a better chance?
I'm liking what Finem have. Madara's Ursa has been very scary, historically speaking, when we've seen him. Invoker is not going to like completely crush a Timbersaw mid necessarily. I think Thug can actually do all right there with the reactive armor early on. And he's going to get some help, of course, from the MNT Bounty Hunter. So I think Finem have really drafted to their comfort zone. They have some alright heroes to deal with the Drow strat. VP themselves, I think the Legion pick is maybe just saying a bit of a, I guess, maybe a bit experimental. Of course, the hero good against Batrider, being able to purge off the lasso, and has some other kind of utility as far as initiation duel with Sunstrike, very good. So both teams have drafts that can work. It's just going to come down to execution, hitting their timings, and how some of the smaller early game laning stage stuff is going to go down.
Looks like this game we'll have a bit more of a quiet opening bounty rune.
Yep.
Initiation and such. Thug. She's going to go for the bounty, the TP mid to get the block. He's going to miss one of the creeps, but he will get the rest of them.
Invoker's being found by the bounty early on, so Bounty Hunter's getting in some good harass here. We'll get Invoker down to like half HP. Forces the Invoker to get Quas level 1. Possibly no one was going to go Quasworks anyway, so it doesn't really matter there. But definitely not the ideal level 1 if you're going Exort. And to me, it looked like an Exort Invoker based on the Shadow Demon and the Legion Commander, 2 setup spells. Oh, Solo. He's in trouble here. Reactive armor. That's not a thing. But we may actually see Quasworks Invoker. Quasworks Invoker becomes a lot more viable and strong with the Drow Aura. You've got some good solo kill potential when you get that like Tornado EMP with the Orchid. You ghost walk around, find kills for your team. So we'll see what no one does when he hits level 2.
This lane up top, I mean, Lil, do you think he's going to stick around here? Does Pasha need him in the lane? Is this just the play from Lil on his axe just to be incredibly aggressive?
Yeah, he's with the 2v2 lane. This is a lane which VP perhaps have a even matchup, even slight edge, as we can kind of see them. They're kind of bullying the Ursa a little bit. Pasha with out CSing Madara for now. As soon as the axe leaves the lane, then they can start trying to zone the Legion a bit. But even just giving Legion that early bit of CS can make a nice little difference. Oh, what a play. Finds him trying to suicide. He did that without the Observer Ward as well. He'd actually been de-warded there. But he finds him anyways for the kill.
Nice little play from M&T. Meanwhile, mid lane though, Thug getting harassed down very low by no one. He's got a salve. But still, this mid lane, 6 for 4 against the 3 for 2. It's a tough lane for the Timber proving out to be.
It'll get easier now that Invoker's used up his entire mana pool. Yeah. And Invoker hasn't got a huge edge as a result of using that mana. If anything, Invoker's not really CSing well either.
Top lane. The trudge going on to Lil. Get a few of the...
He may go down here. That's a Boots Ursa.
Yeah, Lil is still playing around with this quite riskily indeed. A pop, a Fairy Fire. It's not going to keep him alive. He's down. And Pasha himself...
Overwhelming odds.
He's
very
going to be fine with the speed.
Spell. Yeah, it's a ton of movement speed out of that.
Bottom lane.
You okay?
Yeah, Ramses is in there as the back comes in too deep.
Nice play.
He was looking for the kill onto the Shadow Demon. Managed to get him very, very low. But yeah, VP able to get themselves onto the map there with their first kill of the game.
Yeah, level 2 on the Ice Arrows, helping secure that kill.
And Solo.
That's an odd play. That's a misclick kind of play, I imagine. Interesting. Or he's smoking to actually go get some wards down. That's the other consideration.
He could do, yeah, with his last bit of life.
He's coming out to suicide, so...
Okay. Smoke and go suicide. Next level plays.
Gets him there faster.
Mid lane, the matchup, I think as you kind of expect, as you said, no one out of mana. It's totally turned around for Thug. He's picked up the CS. He's now ahead of the Invoker. Thug's having a much better time now in this mid lane.
Invoker now gets a Clarity out as well as finds a DD rune, so we'll swing back a bit in his way potentially. But his Clarity gets cancelled very early, so won't actually get the full mana pull back up to use like a Tornado EMP combo.
Bottom lane, MNC.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. That's 4 stacks. He just needs a flame break. This is looking like it's a kill on Ramses.
Yeah, Ramses is going to tick out for sure. He's got the stick charges. It's not enough to keep him alive. Solo trying to find something in return. Looking towards MNT. Won't quite have the damage. They add Finem. 3 for 1 at the moment. This early game going a lot better than it was in game 1 for them against VP.
Yeah. Doing well in the laning stage. Not the Ad Finem classic by any means. Only an area where they sometimes struggle, but they've done a really good job with the rotations from the bounty, finding kills at bottom. The Quasworks Timbersaw just not quite as potent as some... sorry, Quasworks Timbersaw.
Quasworks Timbersaw.
Yeah, not quite as dominating in the lane, perhaps, as what you'd hope for. And as a result, yeah, Thug's doing fine.
Yep.
Safe lane's doing fine. They're getting kills. They got a kill in the off lane now. So, yeah, across the board, at Finem, doing well. Still early days, though.
It is. And just the fact that this game, obviously, Lil on the axe rather than the perch, he's just been unable to do as much as he did in game 1, really. He was still put a bit of pressure up on the top lane, but now he's started to move around, just get his tranquils complete. And we'll see if he does indeed continue to put pressure on, or if we're going to start to see him try and farm towards the Vanguard or the Blink, whichever he wishes to go for.
Yeah, I thought he might fall back into the jungle at some point, but he hasn't gone for an Iron Talon. Picked up an early Windlace, which is perhaps a bit more unusual. And also slows down your Trenkles, but Lil wanted to just buy whatever cheap, cost-effective items he could fit in there. He has been scouted now by a Bounty Hunter.
Look for just a bit of harassment onto Skylark. They did scan, and Bounty did walk under initially.
They've got
so
Dust
they
now,
was
though,
around.
hoping he'd walk back in.
Yeah. He's just playing it smart. Meanwhile, top lane, Pasha getting in and aggressive with Spartan, but Madara's going to be there to fend the Legion off. Pasha up on this top lane. He's been able to find a bit of CS, 20 for 0. But of course, by the looks of it, just not really being able to slow down the Ursa's farm at this stage of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be very annoying that Overwhelming Odds does quite a fair chunk of damage. But that's really just what it is. A bit of nuisance with the Dazzle heals. Ursa's managed to free farm more than all right down here.
MNC just stopping Lil from being able to pull the creep wave. Back towards the mid again. Thug being harassed down fairly low. We're seeing with the EMP, it looks like they've managed to take Thug's mana right out of the picture.
He's going in for a kill, really, I don't think. Very aggressive Soul Ring play.
See if he gets... It looks like, reactive armor's going to be enough here, the 2 points.
Yep. Again, more mana being expended by no one, and Timbersaw has decent HP regen with Soul Ring and the reactive armor, so he's tanking the creep wave, maintaining that reactive armor.
Bottom lane. Skylark looking for solo. They'll get the call onto MNC. MNC trying to get himself up, but he has been dusted. He'll go down. So VP find one. Skylark did manage to find the Shadow Demon. He's now trying to look for Ramses as well, but Skylark's got to be careful. He's in the neighborhood. He's trying not to take as much damage as he can from the Firefly. Just kiting it out. Now with the call, controls Skylark, and VP, they'll claim 2 from this trade.
Yeah, Skylark kind of chasing as if that Firefly was never going to wear up. He's like, oh, I'm damn slow here, but I've got 4, 5, 6 Napalm charges stacking up. Let's just keep chasing, but that doesn't really work when your Firefly wears off.
We're seeing a very nice use of the setup there. The disruption into EMP, rendering Thug with no options for escape.
Yep.
And no one, he's aggressively, he's getting a lot done with this Quasrex build. He is making the lane harder for Thug than it was to open up with. We saw Thug kind of catch up, but now one rotation from a Shadow Demon can cause the end of his life. Bottom, MNC looking for Lil. Looks like the Battle Hunger speed will allow Lil to get himself away safely.
Yep. Gets out, which is a nice save for him. He can go back, he can finish that Iron Talon if he wants. He's going to keep buying dust though, so he wants to stay and remain present in this bottom lane, I imagine, or at least follow the Bounty Hunter around. And so far he's had a lot of success in game 1. We saw him able to somewhat negate MNT's early game presence, and here again in game number 2 he's trying to see what he can do.
Lane Thug coming in with a good bit of burst onto no one. MNT eyeing him up from the sidelines.
Can get in from behind, that could be big, and actually it's a straight solo kill.
Just, with a straight up outplay, no one. Just getting absolutely, he's just absolutely underestimated what Thug could do there.
Yep.
Standing too close.
Or expected to be able to dodge one of the Chakram. That's always the big thing when you're laying against Timbersaw or playing against him. The Chakram's one of those, not easy to dodge spells, but definitely possible to dodge spells. Thug outplaying him. Level 4 Timber Chain as well, doing a lot of damage. And Thug's possibly looking to go aggressive once again.
And with Pasha turning towards the jungle, you look to the top lane, Ursa's getting a lot of space. Bottom lane.
It's a hasted bat, but looks like he was
They do have a lot of potential. There's disruption into duel. The Skylark actually playing his way just outside. Now he's come back too close. He's coming too close. Pasha will move in. Won't actually go for the duel because backup's there. Thug turning up to the fight. They have the lasso to Pasha. They'll burst down the Legion. MNT in trouble. They'll lose him, but Thug picks up a double as he comes in for more. Ramsey's knocked back by the flame break. Skylark out of mana. One more touch should do it with a poison touch from the Dazzle. They should find the Drow Ranger. VP are looking to turn it. Ramsey's that poison touch tick damage, it is going to be enough, but they do get the bat in return. So again, I believe it ends up a 2 for 3 trade, but it's still great for our Finem. Madara's getting more and more space on the top lane.
Yeah, doesn't even have to come to the fights. He's just free farm away at top lane. We'll see if he goes for the fast Mask of Madness or opts for like a faster Blink Dagger, but we're seeing a lot of that Mask of Madness build, which is normally where you get the Mask of Madness, you go down bottom, take Roshan, and then meet up with your team to make some plays happen. Question is if VP are in a position to contest Rosh. Quaswex Invoker good at fighting early, so potentially gives them the option to do so, but trying to contest Rosh against the Bounty who's scouting you out is going to be very tricky.
MNC at the moment in the mid lane just trying to find his way to level 6. Just have to be careful. Sentry will be dropped. And then see. Yeah, just hanging around, not looking to reveal himself at the moment. Bottom lane, Thug setting up camp down it. May get a bit of pressure put onto the bottom tower. Obviously, one of the things really that Finem's lacking this game, they don't have a lot of tower push.
Yeah, they really want to prioritize getting kills. Bat, Ursa, Timbersaw, these are all kind of hero-killing specialists, but definitely not heroes you expect to be able to break buildings with, so they want to try and really snowball off of this good laning stage they've had.
Look at Madara. He's going to swipe and run. Doesn't want to commit to that.
Yep. There's no one there, he has his Mask of Man. Hasn't TP'd bottom yet for Roche, but possibly recognizing that doing that against a Quaswex Invoker is a very dangerous proposition.
Yeah, absolutely. VP with a lot of potential to turn it around if they get the chance.
Yeah. And for now, I think at Finem just thinking like, oh, the lane stage is going all right for us. Let's wait for a pick perhaps, try and use our first smoke to make something happen. Barret's Blink Dagger still a bit of a ways off, so he's just going to chill in the jungle for now.
And it looks like neither team really looking to do anything drastic. Nice bit of a combo there for no one.
That's annoying. For a bounty, doesn't have any mana regen. We pretty much have to go suicide or back to Fountain just because of one combo, which frees up the map a bit. It's one of those things where he's not even looking for a kill there. He's just looking to take Bounty out of the game for the next 60 seconds. Bounty will stay mid just because he really wants that level 6, so because of that, it's not too damaging for MNT.
Oh, it could be a Roche attempt from Madara. He comes across, they know that they've got good vision control around the pit outfit him. They've already managed to take down the wards off the high ground of VP, and they'll head into the pit.
They also had eyes on Lil not long ago. They saw he's low, so they realized there's no Ursa in the mix. Sorry, Ursa, what we're talking about. There's no Axe in the mix. Ursa's in the Roche pit as they try and make this move in here, which looks like to me it's going to be uncontested. It's kind of very high risk, medium reward for a VP to try and stop Ursa taking this Roche. Chances are you get scouted and then you end up feeding Roche and kills.
Very nice indeed for Finem. Getting objectives done this game. 8 for 6, still 12 minutes in. 2 highest net worth over on the side of Finem. Having a much cleaner opening here in game 2.
Got Track now too, so Track Ursa is going to be a beastly duo at this stage. Ursa not far from a Blink Dagger. May actually find Lil here in the jungle at top. Or Lil.
Oh, Lil indeed. There's not many ways you can play his way around this. Cool, still on cooldown.
The only way he had was that tree playing Ring Around a Rosie, and well, it got chopped down.
Yeah, and that is pretty much going to put Madara on the gold, on the money for the Blink Dagger to be complete. Bottom lane, an ambitious choice. Not going to get the dual win, but it does set up no one for the combo. Thug, he's going to get the armor back up from the Dazzle with the heal as well. Thug may just even live through this, and indeed he does. Nice play from Spartan, keeping Thug alive. Thug's out. So VP trying to use the duel to set up onto the Timber, but it doesn't end up paying off. The top lane, there'll be a gust back from Ramses. It's not going to be enough to save his life, and another one going down.
Yeah, freshly picked up Blink.
Playing really nicely as a team, and the combos are there.
Yep. Madara's first Blink move is a big success. He gets a kill on a core and a tower out of it. Great save on the Timbersaw. Timber's level 11. He is really having a good start here. Ursa having just as good a one is level 11 now with Blink, Mask, and Man. So he just picked up the Blink, already has 1,000 gold. Gets some extra mana from the Bounty Hunter who's got the Track coming into play. The Arcane Boots plus Earn is all he really needs as far as his early game core items go. And this is where Finem can snowball off of getting a lot of kills if VP aren't careful.
MNT may have found something here. Eyes onto Solo. Madara's there as well. Jumps in immediately. That'll be another Track kill. In fact, a dust comes out as well. The question is if it's actually going to spell disaster for MNT. He's looking for the TP out. He's going to be found out by the Coles now. They're going to get the dual win as well. More. Well, I say more. I believe that was that the first dual win for Pasha this game? I believe so. Yeah, it was. He finally gets that win.
Okay for MNT. Trades 1-for-1 for his supports where he gets a Track kill for his Ursa. So Ursa going to be like telling his team like, yep, totally fine. We'll take that trade.
And look at this wraparound. They're not done. Blink Dagger. And they come in again, and Thug now dominating.
Yep.
Taking down Invoker of all heroes as well. One of the big powerhouses that VP are relying on this game.
He wants it. He recognizes that Ramses is going for that Ancient stack. Says, I will stop and shut that one down. For VP, it looks like the Lil Blink Dagger coming up in about 100 gold is going to be one of their key items to try and stop and deal with this Adfin aggression, but they've also got to wait for this Aegis to expire. It feels like they just don't have a good answer to Ursa, and with 2 lives, this next 2 minutes of the game while the Aegis is still up just seems to be a lost cause for VP.
And look at Madara just running in at this stage of the game. There'll be a demonic push to hold him back. Skylark jumping forward, trying to catch Solo off. He's going to have a flame break to knock him back here with the Chakram out as well. They'll take another. These fights great for Thug as well. He picked up the Bloodstone just before the Evoker kill, I believe, and now 14 charges. If Adfinem keep winning these fights, it's going to be very hard for VP to come back into this one. This is great momentum for Adfinem.
They've
just got the perfect heroes to do it with. VP indeed trying to lead in, going in onto Madara. Madara taunted, brought back. They'll take him down once, but he's got the Aegis. Pasha still
Easy
benefits from the dual win, indeed up to +20. They'll try and kill him again. The Gust comes through early though from Ramses, and Madara will be allowed to blink out. They may even go back in. Spartan looking to get the poison touch onto Lil. They've got the Grave, keeping Skylark alive. They do lose Dazzle. Madara, he's questioning whether he wants to go in on this. He's got eyes onto Lil. He'll jump in. He's going to look for the axe pick off the cold snap, holding him back. It's a good flame break from Skylark. Will allow them to get the kill onto Lil. But at the same time, Madara, he's got to get himself out. In fact, with the enrage, he's trying to keep himself alive with the lifesteal. It's not going to happen, though. They've lost the Ursa as well here at Finem, losing some key heroes. MNT is going to be lucky, though. They don't have detection. The bounty will be out. But it's a big kill for VP there, taking down the Ursa.
Yeah, taking that fight without the Timbersaw around, they got called out at the Ancients by VP, who commit their entire lineup to try and fight it. And I think at that point, if you're Adfinem, if you want to fight post-Aegis, you've got to be making the call like, Timbersaw, come over here, we got to fight, it's going to last a while. Because that fight went on for a good 60 seconds from the start of that first kill to the end of it. And that's where it feels like Adfinem just didn't commit enough hero-wise to take that fight. Bounty at mid's been caught out by Invoker, but should be okay as he gets back to the high ground. VP just likely want to keep on fighting. They've got this great initiation that Lil can provide now, and Ramses is starting to pack a punch, has the Dragon Lance on his Drow Ranger, and will be completing a full staff Hurricane Pike fairly soon as well. So definitely a point of the game where VP, despite being down on the cause, can actually take fights. Ursa is going to get kited around by the Invoker, the Urn Cold Snap, the Tornado EMP. They've got the answers.
And another quick and easy pick off for Adfinem.
Yeah.
Showing their strength. I mean, if you send heroes out alone, Adfinem will be able to rip them to shreds. A lot of single target.
That's just that. You don't want to go out alone. If you're VP, you want to be playing that stick-together style of Dota here. That's where you're going to be at your strongest. Try and use your smokes now to get you caught up, but giving Thug more Bloodstone charges is one of the big things you just don't want to be doing.
So that Swolson in getting the poison out, but just have to be careful. I'm going to jump in from Madara or Skylark. Could cause issues, especially with the Basher now complete on the Ursa.
Looks like they were gunning for Lil up top. MNT TP to the tier 2, but he's already out of there, so Axe gets out. Adfinem just going to fall back, play the farming game for a little bit now. Perhaps learn a bit from their mistakes last game where they just tried to force fights a bit too much when they weren't really in fighting shape. Your Timbersaw has 3.2k gold. Let him finish an item also. Has a Blake. Level 13. Ursa has no more Aegis. Perhaps they'll fight around the next Roche pit. 2 to 5 minutes to go. But they're also dewarding the map. This early gem pickup for Skylark will deny and prevent VP's vision game. But I think VP, recognizing this is a problem, have actually smoked up, trying to find some ways to fight without vision.
See what they can do. Adfinem still hanging around, wanting to do something about this. Little jump scene gets the call off on to Spartan. Spartan dropping low, dropping out.
That's
VP
okay for Adfinem. Yeah, that's just the Dazzle though.
Yeah.
And that was a 5-man smoke. If they catch someone like the Batrider, take his gem, or if they catch someone like the Timbersaw who's in top lane, kill him plus take away Bloodstone charges, it's a big win for VP. But killing only a 5-position Dazzle is not really all too influential. Does give them a bit of freedom to push out the lanes. They got another ward down near their Ancients, but realistically, Adfinem look at that like, fine, we take that. We're not looking to push or fight anyways. We want to wait for that next Roshan, so losing a support to a smoke gank is not a big deal. Losing a Timbersaw, on the other hand, something they don't want to let happen.
Pasha not quite yet with the Blink Dagger out. Yep. He's nearly got the money for it.
Looks like he can fall back to the Fountain now and still have it in about 20 seconds time if he wants to. Bats swooped in again. Knows, I believe he knows there's a ward up here, but he needs to not get caught out, and that Shadow... Okay, yeah, he gets out just in time. He's seen the ward, but it's one of those things, you may know it's there, but you've got to find a way to deward it.
On top, Solo looking to lead the way, but Finem have backup. Solo's going to be careful how close he gets to get a nice two-man gust, but Thug jumping in with the chakram. Solo will be forced out to the side. Lil still trying to move forward. A good tornado from No One, catching two of them in the choke point. They'll look to chase down Spartan and Skylark on the side to the left. They'll get the Torn onto the Timbersaw here, but Thug maybe had to play his way out. No, too much physical damage. The last right click flies through from Ramses. And again, Finem lose a second. VP starting to come out on top of these fights.
Yeah, they had Finem bit of overconfidence or just not really all on the same page because they were trying to deward. They don't need to deward that unless they have 5 heroes ready to fight. Ursa was at bottom lane. He was trying to like find a pick off there or do something else that he wasn't really with his team for. And VP punished the fact that Ursa was bottom and they had a kind of essentially 5v4 fight. They break the Timbersaw's initial Bloodstone charges. He's down to just 9. They kill Dazzle again. Those kills are really starting to add up, and it was just a bit of greed from Finem trying to deward that cliff while farming at bottom with the Ursa. They're just trying to do too much.
Actually getting the call onto MNT here. MNT is going to try and play his way out. It's not going to happen. Pashy gets the jewel. That extra bit of bonus damage for him. A good chop by onto Lil from Thug. Brings him down relatively low. Pasha will go for the straight TP out, and he's going to make it. Nothing to cancel it. No one as well. And Lil, everyone's out of VP.
That was a buyback from MNT as well, so a lot invested there. It's worth buying back as bounty just to get your team that track goal. One of the heroes that really benefits from buying back early on as far as the team game goes, but again, costly. Finem throwing away a lot of their early game lead. They still have an advantage here. They've still got the gem. They now finally get that D-ward off, and they're looking to force the issue here at this tower.
This fight could be nasty. Finem are going to lose their Ursa immediately on the front of this one. Grave ain't going to help you, son. And VP, they're going to chase down for more. Finem's got to be careful it. They could certainly lose more on the back of this fight if they're not careful. Spartan straight out to the north, but Lil has eyes onto him. Spartan, he's got the poison touch to slow Lil down a little bit, but it's not going to happen again with the jewel. Pasha starting to rack up the bonus damage. 48 now, he's getting the flow. Bottom lane, No One finding a bit of a solo pickup onto Skylark. One more touch could do it. The tornado is not going to be on point. Skylark able to get himself out, but only just. And yeah, this is very worrying for Finem. We're seeing the last 2 fights go the way of VP as they're just playing it really nicely. Lil getting the lead in with the cool. We're seeing the swing round, and at this rate, Finem, we're seeing just kind of the uselessness of the Dazzle as well. Lil's always there with the dunks.
Yep.
It's getting harder and harder.
It was an 8k gold lead that Finem just threw away by fighting not really as 5, fighting kind of split up. They also just needed to wait for Roshan as well. Roshan's now back up, and taking all those fights without an Aegis and Ursa just seems a bit unwise, considering that Ursa really needs a second life, considering how badly he gets kited. We mentioned the Quaswex Invoker has a bunch of tools. The Grave is unreliable. Shadow Demon with Demonic Purge as well, very good against the Ursa. We're seeing a different build from Solo. I mean, normally it's that Max Disruption build. He's gone for the Soul Catcher plus Shadow Poison. He's like, who am I making illusions of? Drow, yeah, kind of nice, but this burst damage is going to be maybe a bigger impact, he says. So he's taken a different approach to this game, and it's paid off so far.
And of course, just as the game goes on and on with the Midas on No One, this Invoker going to become very, very scary. And already with leading down bottom, Solo trying to get himself away. Thug has come in, juke out the EMP. Finem still wanting to fight here. Skylark with a vision from the tree line. He's going to jump in, catch Lil. Dragged him back, but there's the purge as Pasha removes the lasso. Jump in again. Lil's playing around with the taunt. Can't quite get the range onto Madara. Finem backing off, but with Illusions out, they've got the vision. It certainly feels like VP still with a strategical high point, as indeed Finem being very careful about how they're going for more, and they're just going to back away, realizing that this is not the fight for them.
Yeah, VP just knew exactly what was going on. They had that high ground ward at the cliff, so it wasn't until after the fight that Finem actually de-warded. And then they realized, like, oh, no wonder we couldn't find good pickoffs. They knew exactly where we were that entire time. This smoke, though...
It could be good.
Yeah, can they get Lil?
Jump in immediately. Lil looking for the call. He's getting bashed up, though, and with the heal bomb, they'll take it. Finem pick off the axe, down for 45 seconds. That's it. A good kickoff to potential objective.
Bats looking for the Invoker. He's pinged out top as if saying like he's going to head up here to join Ramses for the split push.
They see them up here. They've got good vision at Finem.
No one's already TPing though, and that's...
He should be fine. Ramses, on the other hand, though, does not have a TP on him, and they should have spotted that through the ward, so they will indeed continue to chase him down. Now he picks up the TP, goes for the escape, and he's going to make it. He is going to make it. They can't get in. No chance for a bash or such.
Yep. This VP are just kind of outmaneuvering Finem. Even as they give up a couple of kills, Finem have to commit a smoke, and they're just being kind of running around on these wild goose chases, try and catch and pick off heroes who ultimately end up escaping there. Really feels like VP playing some very elusive Dota at the moment, and all the better for them. They've got no one up to level 15 on his Invoker. He almost has completed an Aghanim Scepter. He's already got that first point in Exhort. I imagine we'll see him start building towards more of that Exhort-style Invoker as this game drags on, and he's going to be a big problem for Adfinim's lineup to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, it really just feels like as this game goes on, it's just only going to get harder and harder for Adfinim. If you just consider the heroes of the lineup that VP has.
Do get a Yules on Timbersaw. A nice little catch spell. There's been a lot of just TP outs that they can't cancel. You look at their ability to stop TPs, it's like a Shuriken. Lasso is normally used to start of a fight, so if they TP after a Lasso, it's like there's nothing from Bat. There's only the Ursa Basher, really.
They're jumping in, maybe a little bit of a... Oh no, I guess it works out because they get the chance for the MP to land through. Tornado, can they get the kill before the Jules over? They can.
Oh, they really want the Bat. He drops a gem, and they've got him.
Again, 2 big kills for VP. Did they actually get the Jewel win on that? He's
got 62 damage, it looks like. I believe he did, but don't quote me on that.
He's only got the BKB as well. Pasha, I mean, as we're seeing, just these fights, no one's Invoker. Very, very scary now that he has the levels to do as he pleases, really, in these engagements.
You look at some of the
nasty.
You look at the net worth of someone like a
The
Legion,
axe.
like he's only 7k net worth, but with all the dual damage he's got, the fast BKB, he's gonna be able to do a lot.
An interesting build as well from Ramses. He's got the Axe. It's just something that we don't normally see Drows pick up this early on. It seems very kind of situational.
Yeah, it makes Drow very tanky as one of the main benefits right now. You have the split shot, of course, nice and all, as he's going to get caught out here. Should be okay. He's actually baiting a little bit for Lil, but yeah, let's say that's not going to work. Lil tanks the Yule Scepter for him. Good guy. He actually couldn't TP right away. That's the benefit of this Yule Scepter on Thug, is he actually cancels TPs. He can go for kills by himself. And
he does have the gem.
Yeah.
That's the gem gone. He was carrying the gem.
Nicely found for I say found, it was kind of Lil who came to them, but yeah, this Yules is a fantastic pickup this game on Timber. It just gives him so much more ability for him to kill heroes, go in solo and not have to have his teammates backing him up immediately. He can buy, because often if he goes in, he's got no backup, he's straight up TP.
Ooh, Solo looking to go in here. There'll be the MP to try and split up the fight from no one. He'll drop the ice wall, back himself away, but Madara ready to jump in onto Solo. Pasha in the midst of it all, actually getting bashed straight up, but Ramses at the moment pushing them back. He's taken down the Aegis. Able to get the slows onto Thug. Thug's still got a bit of mana to play with. It looks like that'll be all.
That's 2 kills in a row found because of the Yule Scepter. It's really been the item for Adfinum that has given them some hope and found them some momentum back in their favor as they kind of swing back towards top lane. You kind of highlight how they don't push very well, and that's going to continue to be a problem for them. They've got a lot of nice items across their core heroes, but still no great ability to break buildings.
No one. Going for the lead in. Good reaction from Madara, immediately blinking out. Spartan will get caught out though. In fact, he may be alright to turn around with the help of the team going in onto no one. They got the track out. Good disarmers. They push him back. There's Disruptor to hold Ursa in place, and Ursa actually turning, trying to help his teammate as he goes towards the Legion commander with the Surge Strike. They won't find the jewel, and in fact, Legion's going to be the one to die. They've lost Solo as well on the Shadow Demon at Finem. Finding 2, maybe even more as Lil being bursted down. Skylark jumps forward, and again, Adfinum getting another. Big fight for Adfinum.
Thug's not done. He's like, I'm on the high ground. Sure, guys.
He is a madman. Straight behind tier 4s here. No one. Looking to turn onto Thug. Ramses moving forward as well, but look at Skylark. He could come in and try and help him out.
I want to say he's fine, but
I think he might be. That with the back of a Spartan, he's okay. Adfinum.
A weak plus 60 armor? Okay, that's Timbersaw, ladies and gentlemen.
What the hell?
Weave with reactive armor, okay. That physical damage, it's just kind of tickling.
My goodness.
I mean, Thug is playing a sick Timbersaw right now. He's the one who just blinks in the backlines there, and Invoker was completely alone at that tier 2 top tower because Thug was just zoning out the entire VP team. Legion Commander goes in, but again, he also didn't really have backup. He just had the Invoker next to him. And because of that, Batrider was able to get off a decent initiation. Was able to just get some damage off, didn't die right away, and yeah, Thug really the hero of these fights.
Yeah, I mean,
even though he's not involved in the kills, he's 6-2-2. He actually didn't really, I don't think he even got assists there, but yeah, it felt like he was doing a lot more than some of his teammates.
And with those kind of plays, it just goes to show that Adfinum can still take these team fights. Thug's in such a brilliant position. If they keep control of the Roche as well, continue to get the Aegis and cheese next time round. They can still very much outplay VP.
And now that with the Ag Scepter on Ursa, that's going to be very helpful. He can just pop, it's lower downtime, he can pop to get rid of a cold snap.
He's going to get caught out by the call. Ramsey's hitting the frost arrows though. Skylark could be in trouble. They jump forward again and they'll get the bat. Quick dunk from Lil to finish off the job. The rest of them will get away.
I see that gem traded back.
Yeah.
That's a bit costly, but nice little rotation from VP to set that one up. Thug recognizing, like, all right, if I stick around, I'll probably just die, lose more bloodstone charges. No good, let's get out. He's immediately back to that top lane. He is that top net worth hero that you don't want to mess with. Drow now with a Maelstrom. Nice thing about this build is you do a lot of magic damage as well, which is going to help against that Timbersaw who's got a trillion armor, so this is a build that will help a lot there. And I mean, the Ag's Maelstrom is that just classic farming, super pushing Drow Ranger that it's very difficult to deal with.
I mean, at this point as well, VP, we've seen most of the fights happen on VP's half of the map. Is that just because VP themselves are much more comfortable with Ad Finem looking to fight them and then VP turning them around rather than VP actually getting aggressive themselves?
It's the nature of it. Ad Finem's lamp has to play aggressive. Like, they don't want to farm for the late game. Ursa is not going to scale amazing into the late game. He will do all right for now because he's top 2 net worth, but he's not a flash farmer. Ursa farms heroes, not creeps. Batrider's a hero Batrider, Bounty, these are also heroes that want to play aggressive. Even Timbersaw can kind of play the farming game if he's got a physical damage core carry on his team, which Ursa isn't the best at as far as going late game. So I think Thug just says, look, we got to fight. And that's why they're going to VP side of the map, because they want to be the ones fighting and dictating tempo. And also they want to be the ones pushing out lanes because that secures them Roche. By having all the lanes pushed out, it's very difficult for VP to stop a Roche from happening. We haven't seen a single Roche contested yet by VP, although actually it doesn't look like it's going to change. Third Roche coming up soon could just be another freebie. Although for once VP are pushed out on the map. This is the first time I feel like we've seen VP on Ad Finem's side.
It really does feel like that. Finem wanting to fight here. We've got Thug leading him with the Shiva's Guard. Straight out to Lil. Will be held back by this disruption from Solo. Demonic Purge, but it's onto an illusion. Ad Finem, can they try and chase down for a kill? It looks like with the eyes onto Solo, they'll get a Shadow Demon out of this. Already the rest of VP just splitting and getting themselves the hell out. No one TP's out in the tree line.
Drow in
to
trouble.
the side, Ramsey's in a lot of trouble. They've still got the lasso, so no chance of Ramsey's to TP out, and he'll join Solo on the sidelines, and he's down for 70 seconds. No buyback as well on Drow, so a huge loss there for VP.
Yeah. They can't really push at the lanes that well without the Ag's Maelstrom. Invoker not bad. He is instantly pushing at that mid lane to try and deter Ad Finem from going for that big push. But I think Ad Finem are happy just to take those kills, back off and farm, and secure next Roshan, which has respawned. So this is probably telling his team, like, let's not go for any... Like, there's tier 2 towers. There's unlikely to get a high ground here. Ursa just wants to keep fighting or keep continuing to secure Roche.
Yeah, they really do. They want to keep fighting here. Lil. Let's see if they're going to get leading. Madara comes forward. They've caught out Lil, and he is down. Ad Finem getting really scary now. Gem again trading hands. We see this Gem go back and forth pretty much 4 times, it feels like, so far this game. A lot of back and forth action from the Gem. But pressure being put on now by Ad Finem on this bottom lane. I mean, we were seeing the willingness of Thug to dive tier 4s and such.
Yep, they're not done. Axe is dead. They want to force some action. Play aggressive Ad Finem Dota. Definitely a fun variety to watch, and they are on the high ground, ready to go. Even with Ursa's soon-to-be completed BKB, they say, we can do this anyways, but with one respawn and the Axis coming up soon, it looks like finally they will decide to back off. They could look to kind of turn around with a smoke play here, but it's like a higher risk play than going for the Roche, which is Aegis and Cheese this time around. You'll have a BKB on your Ursa, which means he can get out of the silence now. So he's got silence. He's got the BKB out of the silence. He's got the Aghanim Scepter, so he can enrage out of the stuns. Very, very tough to fight Madara. And it's not even Madara you've got to worry about. If anything, Thug is probably going to do more hero damage in a team fight. If you focus everything, all your disables and your just annoying spells on the Ursa, it's the Timbersaw who's going to destroy you.
Oh, they drop a sudden strike in, but as you said again, just VP with no one in the area to do anything about this. Aegis to Madara, Cheese to Spartan.
Yep. Not sure what Madara does because he's kind of slot limited now as far as taking the BKB. Has to drop. Okay, he's going to drop the Mask of Madness, but this kind of limits his aggressive potential. But ultimately, BKB is going to allow him to do damage. whereas Mask of Madness doesn't help when you're cold snapped and silenced and whatnot.
I mean, the thing is, even though we've seen the last few fights go badly for VP, no one's really got an Axe Octarine complete. And they obviously do have this Axe Maelstrom build on Ramses. VP can do a lot of damage if they find the setup and if Finem are grouped up. It just seems that recently, Finem, they've been the ones with the jumps. The fact that Thug's just been able to kind of split VP apart as he gets behind them in these team fights.
Yeah, for sure.
So VP certainly do still have a chance. It's just kind of whether Finem group up and give them that chance.
And their catch gets scarier as we see Skylark working an Aghanim Scepter. They've got this Aegis Cheese so they can just go diving for kills. I mean, VP's trying to just work on trades as they push out the bottom lane, but it's really their high ground they're going to have to worry about soon. So Finem just want to keep going for kills. They've even TP'd Thug. Thug's actually going to look for the picks at bottom lane. Really nice that your Timbersaw can be the one TPing back and can cancel TPs, but ultimately it doesn't look like he finds anyone. Oh, they've seen Solo. That's a kill.
Yeah, he's got a TP, but of course, as we said, Thug with the Yules should be able to make sure the Solo has no escape.
Let's say if he juked that, that'd be a sick play, but nope.
More Bloodstone charges for Thug, up to 19 now.
Yep, he's going to have an Ags as well, it looks like, as he picks up a couple components. Everything well in the world of Finem for now. They're back up in that big gold lead. 12,000 gold, Aegis and Cheese. And that just kind of means they've got all the tools they need to succeed. And this is where Thug, with his damage up in a team fight, gets a bit silly. But it's the high-level late-game Invoker that you kind of look at for VP as far as carrying them through the late game. Drow Ranger with the Ags Maelstrom can always push out lanes. You could be down multiple lanes of Rax and still be have no issues dealing with it. So VP have some late game, decent late game potential.
No one trying to split push up top. There'll be a scan actually from Finem.
Yep.
As they do send a few of them up here, but no one a little too speedy, and with the TP should be able to get himself out, no problem.
Yeah, back going across the entire tree line to try and see what he can find. May actually find Lil if he keeps going. I imagine he will. This is a really nice play back can do because it's so common to be hiding there.
Actually jumped in. Yeah, he's not getting out of this one.
Wait for the track? No, they're not going to do so. They should have just left him there, stopped right-clicking him, and they actually get down a nice little Observer Ward 2 over those trees. It's such a common play for the Radiant team to be trying to split push top in those trees. That having a ward up there in this position. When you're ahead as a Dire team, the Radiant team's always trying to split push your top lane, so they're doing everything they can to deal with it. Wouldn't mind seeing Bat even pick up a Boots of Travel, but he looks like he wants to finish the Ag Scepter first. I guess there's definitely arguments for both here.
I do guys. It certainly seems like just recently, Ag Scepter has gone up in terms of Batrider players' minds, you know, in terms of viability. Because we are seeing the strengths of it in pro games, and it's just getting built a lot more nowadays.
No, we've seen it win some crazy games, crazy fights around that Roche pit. It's one of those most dangerous places we've seen it.
Up top, no one playing around with Thug. Actually jumping forward for this. Has to be a bit careful though. I guess with the invis, no, they've got the gem. I mean, the Skylark's not going to make the jump.
Must have thought. Oh, he didn't have the lasso. 8 seconds short. He'd used it up top. Would have been a kill, I believe.
Mid lane. Finem ready to start to push in. It is obviously relatively hard against this Axe Maelstrom Drow. That is one thing that VP can certainly do. Prolong this game. Even if they're losing tier 2s, it's going to be hard, the high ground pushes, unless they get big pickoffs. And Skylark looking for exactly that at the moment. Lil's going to try with the jump in the call. He's actually going to whiff it. So he won't get the catch out.
Bat misses his blink in return. All's fair game here.
Actually, mid lane, a lot of damage being done to the Ursa. Backing off, they're going to good duel onto Dazzle. They may find more. They've got the cool onto the bounty of Meteor coming down on the head of MNT. MNT's out as well. And this is the problem really for Finem. VP have very good defense.
Yeah. Push is just not working right now. And
the push for VP certainly will. That's the thing as well. Finem lose heroes. VP can just barrel down a lane and take a tier 2 very quickly.
Neither player with buyback. And yeah, it's the supports, but you need those supports. The track, very useful. The Grave, not exactly amazing this game, but Weave is very good. If you kill the Axe, the Grave becomes amazing. And this is suddenly looking like VP pressing forward. They're against an Aegis Cheese. They're down 12,000 gold. They say not a problem. Let's take some kills. Let's push out and threaten high ground. We other late game lineup, and they are definitely starting to show it. That gets Invoker up to level 20, so just 2 levels away from that AoE Deafening Blast now, and times are definitely getting better for this VP squad. Definitely a concern for Finem. That gets up an Acceptor. I'm kind of with you where I like that we're seeing it more and more. It just feels like having the boots of travel mobility, or the other big item is the BKB, would help him so much more. If he tries to blink lasso someone, he could just get instantly cold snapped, tornadoed. There's a lot of annoying spells for him to have to deal with. Bottom lane, actually, it's Thug going in with Madara.
Actually going to get Demonic Purge, so holding him back. It's hard for Madara to get the job done. Thug will throw in the chakrams, but Passion with the BKB, and now the potential turnaround. Lil gets the call onto the Ursa, dragging him back in. He will blink out. Again,
one back in,
being
perhaps.
careful. Okay, they'll get the lasso onto the Drow. Ramsey's dragged into the midst of it all. They're going to lose him. That's Drow. He does have buyback available. He may need to use it. Finem already looking to move in for more. Onto no one. He's going to get caught out. Has the Ice Wall dropped down to try and hold Finem back. There'll be a disruption trying to buy some time for no one. In fact, no one. He's going to live. And now the turnaround onto Thug. Thug may have gone in too deep with the cold snap, and the punches from Ramsey. It's too much damage for the Timbersaw. Now he's coming in with the tornado, trying to chase down for more. They'll get the call onto the back. Madara jumps in, rips no one a new one. As he brings down the Invoker, they need to find more. And it looks like VP are the ones to continue to chase. Lil looking for Madara, held back by the poison touch of Spine. Ramsey jumps forward, and again, VP with this huge defense, taking Finem to pieces.
Great late game blink. Ramsey's like, after respawning, he's just like, oh, well, buying back. He just buys a blink dagger. It's like, okay, I've got all this extra money. There's a fight going on now. We're defending, but also starting to win this fight. I need a chase. Let's get a blink dagger. He chases down the extra kills, gets the Ursa thanks to it. Really nicely played by him. And that was just Thug going a bit too deep. The Disrupted Invoker looked like a tasty kill that should be free, but he gets forced up immediately. He also slightly mistimed the Timber Chain. I don't imagine he gets the kill even with the Timber Chain. It just wouldn't have quite been enough damage output. And well, that was a Finem overcommitment, and that's another swing going back VP's way. Did require a buyback from Jar Ranger is the main thing, and that's where Finem perhaps will try and capitalize on that buyback being on cooldown during this phase of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the real question is can they? I mean, as we've seen, they can find the pickoff or two.
Yeah. Finding a lasso where the Legion isn't in position to purge it off, or a Shadow Demon Disruption is kind of the key thing here. We saw Skylark get a really nice initiation off there, found the Drow completely caught out with no protection, and then they almost get the Invoker to follow. That was definitely the ideal way to fight if you're Finem, but they're not always going to be able to get those free lassos off.
Second moment looking to kind of bait at the bottom. Spartan revealing himself, but Skylark indeed in the tree line. And it looks like they will fall for the bait potential VP. Lil's going to move forward. And we'll
narrowly missed that
react.
scan, but they're all coming bottom now,
Yeah, VP, they're aware that something fishy is going on. Madara now jumping forward. They'll just go for the Demonic Purge and run, holding back the bear. And VP getting themselves the hell out of there. They'd much rather prefer to fight around their own high ground.
Will be a Roche up soon. Spartan is almost died. Those illusions and the Sunstrike potentially could have finished him off. He will scout out Roche immediately, so should be a free Roche, as we've seen before for Finem, but by no means does a free Roche represent an ability to take a high ground fight. Curious to see if they swap up the Aegis, the cheese allocation at this point. Not really possible for Thug to take anything because he's 6-slotted, but and I guess Ursa is still just like a great carrier of an Aegis, so have him drop his Mask of Madness again and maybe pick up like an Abyssal Blade and then go for the high ground with that. I say go for the high ground. It's not really a siege that they're looking for. It's just looking to dive the enemy base. That's really how their lineup functions. They go for kills. They don't go for buildings. Buildings are an afterthought.
Again, Finem. Fourth time in a row, getting the Roche. And heading down towards the bomb. Already 2 TPing back up top. Looks like they want to try and defend against VP. Skylark already positioning himself in the tree line. No one and the boys moving forward. This is a hard fight for the two of Finem to take. They're almost certainly going to want to avoid this. Actually going to look to lead in onto no one. They do get a nice 2-man lasso, but the Purge is there. They've already lost the Dazzle.
Oh.
Oosp. I imagine that's meant to be an oops. So they have lost God, Dazzle though on the side of Adfin.
Bat,
And
20
they're still
HP,
trying to
he's
fight.
dead.
Thug's leading in. There's going to be the duel from Legion to hold him in place. They're focusing solo, taking the Shadow Demon out. Ramsey's turning, trying to push back the Bear, but the Bear proceeds onto
He's
Lil.
alone. He's kind of 1v5 here.
Is-
Doesn't matter if you got him in Aegis. If you're 1v5, you're dying twice.
They could kill him again.
Thugs wants to go back in, but I don't think he can. He's going to have to leave.
This Bear's out for a second time. There's no doubt about that. And Adfin now with 3 on the sidelines.
He's got no buyback. Disaster.
Oh no.
What did he buy? Did he
Finem.
buy the Abyssal? Yeah, he completed the Abyssal, but didn't even have it for the fight. He's made some teamfight winning plays with this press the attack. That's like the 3rd time I've seen him instantly purge off Lasso
He's
this
so
game.
good against the Lasso.
And often you'll see it like halfway through the Lasso. No, he's getting it instantly. Like the less than half a second after the Lasso is being used, he's purging it off.
Yeah, VP just capitalizing on Adfinim's mistakes here. And obviously with the push, absolutely brutal fighting through backdoor protection, the damage that they've got.
Yeah, they may continue this one with the Ursa still dead. It's tough because they don't realize Ursa has buyback. If they knew Ursa had
no
buyback,
buyback,
they'd probably go for this, but they didn't see him complete the Abyssal Blade. If anything, they just saw him with the same old items he's had for like 20 minutes, and they're thinking, okay, Ursa's got buyback. If you push high ground, guess what happens? You get lassoed, you get pulled to the tier 4 towers, Ursa buys back, and suddenly you've lost 3 or 4 heroes. So VP not having the info that they need, of course, are not going to try and break high ground, and as a result, Adfinem will get away with Ursa not having a buyback. And you can't even try and force that buyback, because forcing the buyback is death. So the logic there for VP is sound, that it's not worth trying to break through.
But still, we're seeing what we expected from the drafts. You know, VP win a fight, they could put on so much pressure, you know, even fighting through backdoor protection. If Adfinem win a fight, you know, they're having to dive towers for it.
Yep.
And even when they do that, in terms of actually taking the towers out of VP's hands, it's incredibly hard with them with this lineup.
Yeah, these fights, the Drow illusions from the Shadow Demon starting to do massive damage as well. The Aghanim split shot is just destroying Adfinem, and it's definitely proven to be very, very difficult for Adfinem to fight late game. They just don't have a way of team fighting outside of getting a good, clean lasso initiation off, and that's so easily countered by either press the attack, Lincoln Spheres. They've got numerous tools that they can use. They want to fight bottom, though. There's no Legion here.
They'll go in. We'll grab the axe. Immediate disruption. Thug's turning up, looking to find this fight for Adfin. Madara coming into the front of it, but he's going to be Jordan. In fact, nearly taken down. The dome comes too early, though, so he lives through it. It's a 1-for-1. 2 supports dropping. Madara still alive. Finally falls, though. VP to take the 2 of them, and now maybe more. They're focusing Thug. They've got the cold snap. Have they got the damage? That's the question. With the EMP and the cold snap just holding in place, he's got to kill himself. Thug knocks himself out, but they've lost 3. The tornado from no one, catching out Skylark. They chase in, get the call with the axe, and again, VP taking these fights absolutely beautifully. And again, it's ones that Adfin themselves are trying to force the issue, and it's just not working out. They've got 3 heroes down without buyback. The push is going to come in hard from VP. And at this stage, it's really looking hard to see how Finem can bring this one back round and turn it into a win.
Yeah, this panel, well, Pycat was right to give his faith to No One's Invoker. Yep. He has made some big plays this game. Really bought VP a lot of time, and the whole team has played well. The supporting cast has done a great job of negating the Batrider, and Adfinem in trouble.
Thug, again, just jumps in off the front line, trying to disrupt the push of VP. Rams is ignoring him, just going for the Rax here on the bottom lane. They'll get the duel again, another win for Pasha. And it is looking incredibly hard for Adfinem now at this stage of the game. VP on towards the mid. Adfinem still with heroes, out for the count. And this is the problem. VP can just get so much done. Ramsey's with insane attack speed and insane damage as well. 400 plus. 2 sets of racks clean, taken from Adfinem. They may have one last fight in them to defend this top lane, but it is going to be such a hard defense, as we're seeing already. Thug looking for the jumping, trying to bring Lil out of the fight, but Lil gets himself away in time. Now Madara jumps in, focuses the Shadow Demon. There's the call from Lil. He's actually saving the life of Solo, but it costs him his own. They'll lose the axe. Ramses past the BKB trying to run. Madara trying to chase him down, but the Ice Wall kiting him up for no one. There'll be a buyback from Axe. They go with the duel, but Pasha, he's not winning this duel. Adfinem, they've got Skylark's Bard and Thug in the neighborhood. They'll turn it around. They'll take down Pasha. Adfinem holding on to the top lane for the time being.
I just think we're at that point where Bat just needs to go on the Legion. He's the ideal target for the lasso, because that means he's not purging the lasso off of himself. He's lassoed as it is. The only save then is the disruption, and Shadow Demon is often using disruption on the Drow to make illusions, is often just having to sit very far back. So I think you could perhaps change your approach to fights and start looking for that Legion Commander if you're in Skylark's shoes. But as it is, it's 4 racks now for VP's favor. They've managed to break through in the late game against AdFinem, and AdFinem, well, they've got their work cut out for them if they are to win this game. Their lineup just doesn't really function that well in the late game. They don't hit buildings well. They are really just getting kited around in these fights. It's not just the Ursa getting kited. We're seeing the Timbersaw get kited as well. The Gust plus the Cold Snap just destroying him, and with all the magic damage from the Tesla Ranger, it's not a problem dealing with the high armor from the weaved up Timbersaw.
Mid lane. Finem now. Coming
Feels
in for the
very
push.
all in. But I say that they may just opt to back off soon, but with 5 seconds of no Legion, here comes the TP onto the bat.
So they're trying to jump in, but Thug coming in on the back lines, immediately focusing down Ramses. Madara getting the face of the Drow as well, but the BKB and the purge off from Pasha, allowing Ramses to back himself away. Madara trying to turn towards no one, but the disarms there. No one knocking back the Ursa. They'll go for the duel onto the Timbersaw, but the Grave comes out in time. Thug's going to be able to get himself out. They will get the dunk down onto Ursa, taking down the Dazzle as well. The rest of AdFinem on the retreat. Pasha's
Potential
hunting,
Sunstrike.
looking for Thug.
Does he go for it?
Could he get his way up? Pasha falls forward. MNC not going to reveal himself.
Oh,
Knows
he's not
that he
going
could
for the
just escape.
Sunstrike. You see him. Go for it. Invoker. He's too healthy now.
Yeah, they're going to go for the push. They know that AdFinem's at a weak spot. Skylark has brought Thug in though with the upgraded boosted traveling. That's a big kill if they can get it, but Ramses... Oh, he's not stuck! He's stuck on the high ground! A tornado comes through, no one. Can they keep Ramses alive? They can't! He's down for 110 seconds. Now with the Demonic Purge on Thug though, VP are still looking to find the better fight, and they do. They get the Timbersaw.
he's got no buyback
3
too.
out. And again, this is the opening that VP need to come in on the top lane. With only 2 heroes alive for AdFinem. No chance of defending these racks.
It's should be game over with Mega Creeps at this point. I mean, we talk about AdFinem's lamp doesn't really hit buildings. They also don't hit creeps and push out lanes all that well outside of the Timbersaw now that we're here at 51 minutes in, and it's a big problem.
No one?
He's all right, surely. Yeah, he's all right.
He's killing them in the fountain. It goes down. Lil actually might fall as well. I mean, I don't think they can throw this game, can they? Is this still throwable for VP?
Ramses means business. He's not even buying back. He's like, all right, guys, discipline. We just died back on the axe. Let's not die back some more. You kind of look at this and you're like, how are they actually going to push it? You could all die back right now and it wouldn't matter because they can't really push their lanes easily.
That really is the
They have to push their lanes against Mega Creeps. Then they have to hit buildings with these heroes, with an Ursa and Timbersaw. You're not hitting buildings. You're not pushing your lanes. It's, I want to say, pretty unlosable for VP. They'd have to give up a lot of kills. It'd take like 20 deaths at this point or something. Having all 5 of their heroes down for like 2 minutes because they died back would be like the only way. And there we go. Ursa picks up a Maelstrom.
There you go. Time to kill
desperate
creeps.
times. Yep.
Oh boy. But I think at the end of the day, it's just, you know, as you said, AdFinem drafted to get the kills. I mean, they did, but the thing is, so did VP. And in terms of training kills, kind of moving on this game at the same rate, you're going to lose out if you're AdFinem. Look down bottom, trying to play around with no one.
Yeah.
No one a little bit scared. Timber Chain's not going to hit, so no chance of the chase down. Doesn't have any detection on himself, though, of course. Thug has to be careful. They're bringing in a lot. Thug's got to get himself the hell out of here. With the quick blink, he may just do so. Pasha continues to chase. And Thug, he will be able to get himself back to safety, but only just.
They're still chasing.
Yep.
Solo.
Oh.
Ooh.
Madar, looking for the solo kill. Solo. He's going to disrupt himself. With the Shiva's got damage, they'll take it. That's going to be one. BKB now as they turn towards no one. They get the bash. No one, but the BKB turns around with the Deafening Blast, knocking them all back. Ramsey's pummeling into the Ursa. He'll be forced back to safety, though.
He's trapped. He's on the cliff.
Oi. Skylark with the lasso and jumps back in. Oh, they found a second. AdFinem.
Okay. They can kill the Invoker. This would be big, but again, their base. Well, this is what Mega Creeps do. You think you're winning a fight, then you forget, oh wait, we have 3 lanes to worry about.
Yeah, down bottom. They've actually jumped back in onto Ramses. But no one. Yeah, he's going for the base. He's going for the base.
This is where it's kind of hopeless. There's a big creep wave hitting the throne now. It's not going to end right now unless AdFinem call it, but realistically, it's still that very, I was going to say very difficult, but really it's near impossible game to win. He's dropping Ag Scepters in front of the Madara Ursa. He's baiting him in, saying, come at me, bro. Will he hit the Sunstrike? No. That would have been the ultimate style and swag play from no one.
Yeah, no one is. He's not.
He jumped on.
The Evoker.
Give him the question mark. Oh no, he's actually going to get out.
He's going to get out.
If you got him there, you can
and the Ancient Falls. It's.
GG. Yeah, it was a bit of fun at the end,
they tried their best out for him at the end, and they're not a team known for giving up. That's something you got to give them. But at the end of the day, as you said, as Pycat said, it played out. It's VP with the draft, no one with the Invoker plays. You get to a certain point in this game, and with the lineup you've got, if you're not far ahead, you're not going to win if you're Finem.
Yeah, you needed to. I mean, they did a really good job. They tumbled a bit after getting the first roast, and they got their second, their third one. It looked like they could perhaps pull away. They got a sizable lead. Then they tried to push with a 12. They had 12k gold lead. They had Aegis and Cheese.
Yeah.
But they lost their 2 supports at the very start of the fight. So it was like a 3v5 with their cores who have Aegis and Cheese, but it doesn't really matter. When you're fighting without those, the Bounty, the Dazzle, you're just lacking a lot of utility. They're getting kited. VP just really good itemization and great defensive play from the Disruption. They pressed the attack from the Legion Commander. The dual usage was good.
Legion, Pasha.
I can almost say he's like MVP worthy as far as this game goes. He made the plays that won them the necessary team fights that got them to the late game. Yeah, no one's Invoker, very impressive. But ultimately, I think it was Pasha who made the game-winning plays for me.
Yeah, and it wasn't your standard kind of flashy performance really. You know, he wasn't necessarily winning all these massive duels, racking up a huge amount of damage. It was just, as you said, just the control he offered, jumping in with the duel, just lock down heroes, and of course, just saving his teammates countless times. But all in all, VP, of course, looking very strong, 2-0. I continue to just be this team that brings stuff into the fray, whether it be like Legion, even though a lot of teams are doing that now, but certainly more so. But of course, Lil Pudge, Lil Axe, they can do so many different things. It's a team that I'd say at the moment, probably one of the hardest EU teams to draft against.
Yeah, and then like going into the major, it gives them this huge flexibility where they can bust out heroes given the situation. You see a Dazzle, you want to pick a 4-position Axe, Lil says go for it. Why not? It's a good kind of counter pick. We saw a few fights where having that Culling Blade against the Grave helped them secure kills on the Ursa in the front line. So it was really well played and drafted from Lil. And definitely a VP team that looks like a top contender in the EU scene.
Absolutely. Very strong stuff again today from VP. 2-0 against Finem. Finem giving him their all in that last game, but the draft wasn't quite there. That's it from me and Gods today, as that is our only series. But don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Here at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague, we'll be heading over to the panel to hear what Pycat, Fogged, and Shiva have to say about this series. We'll see you about.
Thank you